guys, welcome to the 8th podcast episode here in Thoughts with Gemini. Today, September 4, 2020, time check it's 1:45 a.m. And for today's podcast episode, I will be giving you 5 tips on how to be a good son or daughter. So, 5 lang tong ibibigay ko pero I'm sure you will get or learn something about this podcast episode today. So stay tuned. You know what? Let's be honest, guys. There is no way that you're a perfect child growing up. And in the same way, it's highly unlikely that your parents were flawless as well. So, I believe there is no really perfect family. Same with there is no perfect parents. And at the same time, wala din naman perfectong anak. So, instead of focusing on the negative side, why don't you make yourself a better daughter or son? With these 5 tips na ibibigay ko sa'yo ngayong gabi na to, pwede mo siyang i-practice whether you're a teenager or you're an adult na nakikinig sa podcast episode na to. So, yun na nga. Simulan na natin. Let's begin with tip number 1. You should always communicate with your parents. And this is actually the easiest way to be a better child. You can simply talk to your parents. It doesn't matter what issues is that. You can talk about what happened to your day at school, ganon. Especially for college students. Minsan malamang nagtataka yung mga magulang nyo bakit parang mas madalang kayo na nagbibigay ng time sa pamilya. So, ayan. Do not be afraid to call or talk to your parents because they should be the one who knows what's happening to you. And sometimes, hindi maiiwasan na magkaroon ng tension between parent-child relationship. And you know what? The best way to solve this problem is to talk about it. Confrontation can be so hard sometimes, but not doing anything about the situation isn't necessarily going to help. So, as a son or as a daughter, hindi masama na parang mag-put ka ng effort para ma-rebuild yung relationship mo sa magulang mo. You can talk about anything. And, sometimes I know it's really hard to say your secret or kung meron kang bagay nagsasabihin pero feeling mo papagalitan ka kaya hindi mo nasasabihin. So, you know what, guys? If ever na dumating sa point na ganyan, you have to tell it to your parents as early as possible so that they can guide you. Kasi mamaya, yung situation mo pala is pwede ka mapahamak or pwede maging worse, ganon. So, para maiga-guide ka nila if ever na mali na pala yung ginagawa mo. Kasi minsan, kapag yung teenager ka, tapos or college student ka pa lang, minsan akala mo tama na lahat ng ginagawa mo pero hindi pala. And, that's the tip number 1. Okay, so tip number 2, this is very important, and this is where some of the tension between you and your parents might come from. Yun nga, pag nagsisinungaling ka sa magulang mo para lang makaiwas sa argumento o yung mga parusa, ganon, I think you have to stop as early as possible because you know what, if anything, you're going to make it worse. it's not fun when your parents are scolding you about, the mistake that you made. But not telling the truth will make it worse. Kasi mamaya, malaman nila yan. Late na, tapos at risk ka na pala. So, of course, they really want the best for you. So, do not try to take advantage of it. Yung parang, dahil alam mong naniniwala sa'yo, magsisinungaling ka. And then, kapag andyan na yung problema, hindi mo naman kaya mag-isa. So, yan, most especially, ito sa mga mga teenager. Kaya nagkakaroon ng early pregnancy, yung mga unwanted pregnancy, yung mga maagang nag-aasawa. Kasi, ito yung mga masisekreto sa mga magulang. And, I'm telling you, whether good or bad, you have to tell it. Kasi para din yan sa ikabubuti ninyo. And, wala namang magulang na gustong mapasama ang anak. So, dahil gusto lang nilang promotekta, natural lang na pagalitan ka or pagsabihan ka. So, mas maganda sabihin mo ng maaga, lalo na kung at risk na yung sarili mo dyan sa sekreto na yan. Para ma-guide ka din nila at, hindi naman lahat ng magulang agad-agad paparusahan ka. Siyempre, kakausapin ka muna niyan nila. And, gagawa nila ng remedyo para maging maayos ka. Ganun lang naman lagi yun. So, aalalayan ka lang nila. Huwag ka lang magsisinungaling. Next, tip number 3. So, this is very important because without this, I can say that you're the worst son or daughter ever. Tip number 3, of course, it is very important that you show some respect and it's really necessary for me. I think ito yung pinaka dapat na responsibilidad mo bilang anak. And since your parents really wants the best for you, they are also expecting something in return. And ito yung respeto. So this is actually the best gift that you could give to them aside from being successful in academic. So, kaya nga nila ginusto na magkaanak, 'di ba? Kasi nga parang ayun yung validation na gusto nila maging parents. So, and given na yun na kapag magulang, dapat nire-respeto. So, maybe hindi siya ganun ka-importante sa'yo, pero sa kanila sobrang importante nun. So, bigyan ko kayo ng example. Diba, pinag-aaral ka ng magulang mo kasi gusto nila may maabot ka sa buhay or meron kang maipagmalaki sa ibang tao na hindi ka kakaya-kayanin kasi may pinag-aralan ka, hindi ka mahihirapan kapag nagpamilya ka kasi meron kang pagkukunan ng hanap buhay. Tapos, ganito yung iba, no? Kung kailan may mga natapos na or kung kailan successful na, nakalimutan na nila yung magulang nila na nagsakripisyo para sa kanila. Yung iba ginagawang alila. Ayun, so imbis na suklian, no, ang gagawin, imbis na gumanang buhay ng magulang nila, ginagawan pa nila ng burden or gumagawa pa sila ng bagay na nakaka-stress, no, imbis na makakatulong, hindi, nakakasama lalo. So if you're listening to this podcast episode and you're the type of daughter or son na tampalasan, I think you have to change your attitude or magbago ka kasi hindi ka palaging bata or hindi ka palaging nasa katayuan mo ngayon. So, ayan, kaya sinasabi ko to kasi madami tayong makikita sa balita. Lalo na kung nakakapanood kayo ng Raffy Tulfo in action. So, yun. Marami tayong makikita doon na example. So, hindi lang naman doon sa mga show na yun. And there are times talaga na kapag medyo immatured ka, pag pinagalitan ka, sumasagot ka. Kung bata-bata ka pa, okay lang yun. Hindi naman sobrang okay. Hindi naman siya talaga okay, pero kung hindi mo control din yung bibig mo, makakasagot ka. Pero kapag yung matured ka na hindi lang pagsagot yung nagagawa mo, tapos dinidisrespect mo pa, ay, nako, tingin ko, mas maigi, i-assess mo yung sarili mo. Kasi, in the future, kung gusto mo na maging maayos sa'yo yung trato sa'yo ng anak mo, tingin ko simulan mo muna sa magulang mo. Kasi, kung ano yung ginawa mo sa magulang mo, yun at yun din ang gagawin sa'yo ng anak mo for sure. And, you know what? Respect is, appreciated much more than you could ever understand, I think. Aside from, like, pag professional ka na, tapos nakakapagbigay ka na, no? Nakakapag-provide ka na para sa family. It doesn't mean na pwede mo silang alilain or pwede ka nilang pagsilbihan, no? Kung ano yung ginagawa mo nung bata ka pa or nung teenager ka pa, kung naghuhugas ka man ng pinggan, nagsasayang ka man, naglilinis ka ng bahay, it should be the same when you grow old. And hindi dapat nagbabago yun kahit nasabihin mong ikaw na yung bumubuhay sa mga magulang mo. So, that's it. Tip number 4. So, and for me, this is very special, I think. Something else that your parents want more than anything else in the world is your love, of course. And, yun nga, medyo sound cheesy siya, pero totoo. And, you know what? Your parents still love you and will continue to love you for a while. And, hindi lang minsan talaga, may mga parents talaga na hindi ganun ka-show yung love or meron silang ibang love language na ipinapakita. Like, kung hindi man sa'yo sweet yung magulang mo, idinadaan naman nila sa ibang bagay like pag-provide ng kailangan mo, yung mga bagay na hinihingi mo, hindi ka na nahihirapan, hindi mo na pinagtatrabahuan, yung hindi ka katulad ng ibang bata dyan na nagugutom, nagpo-provide yung family mo ng decenteng suot, pinag-aaral ka sa maayos na paaralan, kahit public man yan o private, ang mahalaga nag-aaral, 'di ba? So, madaming ways para ipakita ng magulang yung pagmamahal sa anak. Minsan yung iba hindi nila sasabihin nilang mahal ka, pero mararamdaman mo yun mismo kung paano sila magmahal sa'yo dun sa mga bagay na ginagawa nila para sa'yo, 'di ba nga? Mas maganda, action is better than words. So, hindi yung sinabihan ka lang na mahal ka pero pinabayaan ka nga. Well, iba-iba talaga ng reason yan eh. Kung hindi man ganun kaganda yung memories mo sa parents mo, iba-iba ng reason yan, and may dahilan si God kung bakit ganon. Pero para sa mga tao na nakikinig ngayon or estudyante or kung sino mang nakikinig ngayon sa podcast episode na to, kung anumang klaseng parents ang meron ka, it is very important that you show some love. And kahit na hindi ka nila mahal or hindi mo ramdam yung pagmamahal nila. So, maybe hindi lang sila vocal. At yun na nga, hindi talaga lahat ng bata ay swerteng magkaroon ng magulang na mapagmahal, or yun, may mga iba rin naman na inaabandona ng sarili nilang magulang. Pero at the end of the day, marirealize mo kung bakit nangyayari yan sa buhay mo, or bakit hindi kompleto yung pamilya mo, bakit yung lola mo yung nag-aalaga sa'yo, at bakit hindi nanay at tatay mo, bakit ka na napunta sa ibang tao. Pero at least, di ba, nakasurvive ka pa rin, nandyan ka pa rin, at may nagmamahal pa rin naman sa'yo. Hindi mo man kadugo or kadugo mo man, ang mahalaga, may tumatayong magulang para sa'yo. And ayun yung una mong ipagpapasalamat sa Diyos, kasi hindi lahat maswerteng nabibiyayaan ng magulang. So, yun nga. Do not forget to show some So, yun. Ano-ano nga ba ang mga ways para ipakita na mahal mo yung magulang mo? Example, yung mga simpleng gawain sa bahay, tumulong ka. Kung nag-aaral ka pa lang, yun, dun pa lang makakatulong ka na para mabawasan yung pagod nila sa araw-araw. And, ano pa ba? Siyempre, sumunod ka sa mga sinasabi. Lalo na kung makakabuti naman sa'yo. And, pag nag-aaral ka, one way para may pakita mo na sinusuklian mo yung hirap nila sa'yo sa pagpapaaral. I think yung good grades, pwede mong ang way yon para may pakita mo na pinapahalagahan mo sila. And mahal mo sila, syempre. Kasi hindi naman biro magpaaral ngayon eh. So, kahit sa public school, magastos pa rin. Hindi pwede na hindi ka gagastos, lalo na sa mga projects. And, most especially, syempre, if ever na may mga iba pang paraan na alam ka para ipakita yung pagmamahal mo sa kanila, gawin mo. Kasi that is a very good sign that you are trying your best and talagang gumagawa ka ng effort para sa kanila. And kahit hindi man nila sabihin sa'yo, na-appreciate nila yon, syempre. So, let's go with the last tip, which is tip number 5. Of course, be grateful for what they've done for you. And, syempre, may iba talagang magulang na ginagawang araw at gabi. Yun, share ko lang tulad nung tatay ko. And, hindi talaga mahirap or hindi talaga madali na maghanap ng pera. You know, both your mother and father made many sacrifices for you. Simula pa lang nung pinanganak ka at hanggang ngayong malaki ka na. So, it's never really a bad idea to be very grateful for anything. And, whether it be buying you a car, kung mayaman kayo, or teaching you to ride a bike, you know, parents really have done a lot for you. And, andyan sila lagi eh. Mula sa makamit mo yung pangarap mo, mula sa nagkaroon ka na ng trabaho, at you know, yung mga bata, nung bata ka pa, madami silang lesson na binigay sa'yo. At ayun yung baon-baon mo hanggang paglaki mo. So, they really had given you countless pieces of advice. And yun, sa lahat ng nagawa nila, sana you do not forget to thank them. And you could always show your love and respect anytime, anywhere. So, a simple call will do kapag nasa trabaho ka or pagbisita sa kanila kahit may pamilya ka na. And, of course, yung suporta, lalo na pag tumanda sila. So, on behalf of all children, you have to thank your parents for everything they have done for you. And, sana masuklian mo din sila. And, yun nga, bago ko tapusin ang podcast episode na to, gusto ko lang sabihin na wherever you are today, and kung ano ka man ngayon, kung successful ka man ngayon, kung ano man ang trabaho mo ngayon, wala kang ibang dapat pasalamatan kundi ang mga magulang mo. Kasi yan ang binigay na gift ni God. Maybe you're too young to understand the things that I'm talking here or that I'm saying here. But, you will realize it as you grow old, and mas maiintindihan mo kung bakit ganun sila kahigpit, bakit lagi ka nalang pinagagalitan, and bakit lagi ka nalang pinagsasabihan. And kapag narinig mo sa kanila yon, you have to be thankful kasi ibig sabihin nun mahal ka nila and malaki yung malasakit nila sa future mo. So, whatever you learn from your parents, you can always teach all of it to your children or to your future children. So, you know what, sometimes I'm out of words if the topic is about family. And yes, but I think that's it. And thank you so much for listening to today's podcast episode. And whatever I upload here in Spotify will be always available in YouTube. So do not forget to check my social media account Thoughts with Gemini and YouTube channel Thoughts with Gemini. So thank you for listening. Time check, it's 2:52 a.m. And that's it. Have a great day, everyone.